They smell like scones as well.
They look really good.
Hello and welcome to the vlog, and it is a somewhat unusual vlog for me because, as you can see, I'm standing in the kitchen, otherwise known as the galley. Not a place I frequent that often unless I'm making a cup of tea or my favourite lunch, which is of course a cheese sandwich. And my diet of largely cheese sandwiches has kept me alive for 50 years, and in good health. I've had my cholesterol checked and all is well. But the question is, while cheese sandwiches are great for lunch, what are you going to have for afternoon tea? And the obvious answer to that is, of course, scones, or if you're going to be awkward, scones. And whilst one could buy them from the shops, wouldn't it be more fun to make your own? Yes, it would, but I have no idea how to do it. What I need is some assistance, some help from people who perhaps live on a narrowboat and are trained professional chefs. For example, Maggie and Ryan from Narrowboat Chef. There they are! And they're going to teach an utter moron, namely me, how to make scones. Are you up for this?
Yeah.
Okay, moving swiftly on. Let's make scones. So, let the experiment commence. This is all going to be just recorded as we do it, and it's going to be a masterpiece, I'm quite sure. Maggie here is going to guide me through the process. What do we need to do first of all?
First of all, I've brought you an apron.
Stylish.
I thought you might.
Oh, yeah.
When you're dealing with flour,
It's going to go
get
everywhere, isn't it? Okay, all right.
Do you know how to put one of these on?
No idea. Which is the top? Oh, there we go. There we go. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Round once, round the back again, and...
Round once, and then I just usually tie mine at the front.
Oh, okay.
Off to the front. You're looking more professional already.
I feel it. I feel a professional vibe coming through me. It's amazing what the power of an apron can do. Hands?
Hands.
Okay, nice clean hands. Else we'll get complaints in the comments. There we go. That'll probably do, I expect. Do we dry these on our aprons? Is that the chef way? No, look at the horror in her face there. We don't dry our hands on the aprons.
Typically in a kitchen we'll have almost like a tea towel hanging on your apron.
Oh, okay.
And that's for everything,
all right.
really.
Okay. I can do that. There we go. That's going to fall
More
out.
professional by the second.
Oh yeah, I've got this. Gordon Ramsay, watch out. Scones then. Right, what do we need? We need ingredients and we need mixing things. Yes. What do we need?
So we'll start with our equipment. We're going to need a mixing bowl.
I have a mixing bowl.
A measuring jug.
Have a measuring jug.
Measuring spoons.
You've brought measuring spoons,
Yes.
which is lucky because I think I've got about one. So, okay, good.
And a rolling pin.
No rolling pin.
Neither do we. So we'll just flatten it out. That's fine. And a fork.
Right, let's delve into the cupboard and get stuff. So, mixing bowl. No, not mixing bowl. Mixing jug. Mixing bowl. Yes.
Yep.
Suitable. Is that all right? Okay. What were the other things?
We'll need a tray.
Tray. I have a tray from when I made bread. Amazing. And scales. Scales to measure things. Often use scales, clearly.
Obviously.
Okay. There we go.
And we'll need a sieve for the flour as well.
Sieve for the flour. It's amazing I have this stuff. And I have it because the previous owners left it. What do we need for scones?
Flour.
Flour.
Sugar.
Sugar.
Salt.
Any type of sugar?
Caster sugar is best, but
Any type of flour?
self-raising.
Self-raising flour, caster sugar. What was the other thing? Salt.
Salt. Some soft butter or
Softish
margarine.
butter. I have some very solid butter which I've put next to the stove in the hope that it will soften.
If not, we'll
We'll improvise.
will work.
Okay. What was the other things?
Let me check my recipe quickly. Some milk.
Some milk. Yes, I have milk. Okay. Rather conveniently at the front here, I have self-raising flour. I have some very solid caster sugar. What were the other things? Forgotten already.
Milk will probably be in the fridge.
Milk is in the fridge. I have salt. There we go. Little table salt. Milk. How much milk do we need?
110 mils. I'm sure that'll be enough.
No idea if that's 110 mils, but there is milk and butter. The butter is over by the stove, yes.
Definitely not soft.
Definitely not soft. Let's get the alternative butter, which is this one, which is Morrison's Lighter Spreadable, made with butter. It's part butter and part something else. Will that work?
That'll do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Look, measuring spoons, proper measuring spoons, and a
Pastry brush.
pastry brush. That's rather splendid.
So we'll start by measuring.
Measuring,
everything.
yes, okay. With the scales or the measuring jug.
We'll start with the flour and.
Okay. On. There we go. Okay, it's showing 0.
Okay, so how I usually do it is if you put the sieve straight on top of that.
Do I need to 0
and
it
then you have
again?
to 0 it again.
Okay. Mils of self-raising flour. How many scones is this making?
About 6.
Oh, okay. That's a civilised number. That's 150, 180, 219. I presume this doesn't need to be exact.
No, not for scones. You're all right with scones.
Okay, whoa, 225 grams of self-raising flour.
On the dot.
Right. Now what?
Sift it. If you pick it up,
Yep.
and normally it's quite easy if you just tap it against your hands.
Do you know, I remember doing this as a kid. You know. Right, okay. Why? Answer me this. Why, when you tap it, does it always try and crawl up the side you're tapping?
Physics?
Okay, there you have it. It's physics. Right. And this is what? Just to get lumps out or something?
Just takes the lumps out, you get nice smooth scones with that.
What do we do with the last bits? Wag your finger in them to...
That's what I do, yeah.
Okay, right, there we go.
Push it through.
Right. Okay.
There you go.
We have sieved flour. Do we need this again?
No. We need to get our fingers dirty now.
That's fine. I'm going to take my watch off, I think. Right.
So we'll measure out 40 grams of your butter.
Yeah, what does 40 grams look like? Is
Yeah, probably about a bit more than that, but we'll see how we go.
That's 20. I did 0 this, didn't I?
Yes.
37. 40. Look at
you're
this.
A professional at
That
this.
is
You're getting this
bang on. Oh, I'm really pleased with that. Don't need that again, do we?
No. We're
Right.
done with that.
Okie dokie. What happens now?
So get your fingers in there.
Right.
And just gently kind of,
Mush it together.
yeah.
Okay. All
That's,
right.
that's a good technical term.
Mush.
Mush.
Am I trying to... What am I trying to get? Into little crumbs, or am I trying to get it just mixed?
Just mix it,
together,
try and get it
or?
into the flour so it's combined with the flour and it almost goes kind of like a sandy kind of texture,
Okay.
but still floury. Floury sand.
I don't think there's going to be any doubt about it being floury, because there's a lot of flour and the butter has already sort of vanished within there.
Yes. So you just want to kind of make sure you don't have any big lobs of butter left in there.
Okay, so just keep going until I can't feel any
Yes.
chunks.
That's it. So
Do
that's
you think
just
that's
about it.
about
Yeah.
right? Okay. That's what do I do? Just do I wipe it on my new chef towel?
Probably better off washing it first.
Washing the hands. Okay. I'll just there we go. Camera A. Right, a bit of rinsing.
We need to put in 1.5 tablespoons of caster sugar.
Right, a tablespoon. You see, this is where recipes, they have tubs and tablespoons, and I'm always, I know it's stupid, but I'm always confused. That's a tubsp.
That's a tub.
Is that what we want?
That's the one we want.
Right. How many? 1.5?
1.5.
This sugar is somewhat old.
You might want
gonna
the
have to-
sieve for this one.
What do you think? What did I do with that sieve? What are we doing? 1.5. So it doesn't matter about the
1.5.
weight. I don't need to zero the scales here. And is it level on the thing? Is 1?
Level is 1.
Okay, 1
1.
and a half, which is
Yeah, that'll do.
I've had that caster sugar since 1990 something. It's still doing well.
Well, we'll see how the scones turn out.
Right, yes, okay, good.
Okay, and then this is another technical term.
Okay.
A pinch of salt.
A pinch of salt. You see, I hate stuff like that in recipes because
Everybody's pinch is different.
how much? I mean, how much is a pinch? Especially when you're tipping it out of a tipper thing. I haven't got a pinch, have you? I mean, is that a pinch?
Probably a little bit more. We'll go a
Little
little
bit
bit
more?
more. And that's probably good, yeah.
Is that a pinch? Okay, we'll show it to that camera. And do I distribute it around the bowl, or does it matter?
Just pop it in.
Just pop it in.
Because we will mix it.
Right, okay.
Distribute it. We're going to mix it all up.
Can I take it off the scales
You can
now?
take it off the
Okay.
scales now.
Right. So just shush it around.
We'll get your fork in.
A fork? Would I not use a wooden...
A fork keeps it a lot lighter than a wooden spoon.
Okay. How does it know?
How does it know?
How does it know it's a wooden spoon and a fork? I mean,
It's very intelligent.
intelligent mix. Okay. So what am I doing? Just stirring this around?
Yes, just stir it all in.
Okay, right. This is the sugar and the salt going into the flour and butter mix. And does it need a lot of, or are we just sort of generally shushing them together?
Just, yeah, it doesn't need much.
Okay, all right. Is that done?
Yep.
Okay.
Looking good. So we're going to add
Yes, milk.
milk, yes.
How much milk do we add?
110 millilitres.
Some precision measuring now. For 110. Okay. 110 ml of milk. Dunk it all in at once, or
Yes. Just stir it
just
in.
stir it in? Okay. Scoop it, stir it, mash it. Is there a technique to this?
Just
Stir.
Get it all mixed in.
She said very patiently, like talking to a 5-year-old. Just stir it in like I just told you to. Yes. Okay, here we go. There is some stirring. It's getting gooier. I can feel that. When I've tried this with bread, the top half of the mix always goes nice and gooey, and then there's always stuff left
always
at the
stuff at the
bottom which is
bottom.
completely dry. Is there a way to avoid that? Because it drives me up the wall trying to get that last bit of dry ingredient into the mix.
Normally when I'm doing it, I just put like a tiny little bit extra. If it's really not coming up, I put a tiny bit extra milk or water or whatever I'm using just in the bottom.
Right, just
Just
to
to-
make sure it will.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you look like you've done that professionally.
It's-
Again, you say you don't know how to do this stuff, but
Are you going to be learning from me by the end of this? Let's not get carried away. They're also stuck all over that. Does that matter?
so just
Stick it off
stick it off with your finger.
with my clean finger.
There you go.
Not the disgusting finger. I shall use the clean finger.
So it is does look like a bit sticky still. It doesn't look
Yes.
like a nice smooth dough.
No,
But once we've floured the bench and tipped it out and given it a bit of a knead,
it'll get a bit more.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
The one thing that we have forgotten to do,
Yes.
preheat the oven.
It's always the preheating.
I always forget it as well.
Forget. Right. For this, I have your original cook's matches. What temperature do we want?
Your oven doesn't look very technical, so hot.
Yeah, it can do hot.
But we want gas mark 7.
7. It can do 7. I've never known how long you should preheat an oven for. I mean, without actually having a temperature gauge in there to measure when it's up to temperature. How do you know?
When it's hot.
Yeah, but it's hot now.
Ryan? This is a Ryan question.
Ryan, how do I know my oven is hot enough?
When you have a gas oven, it takes about 5 to 8 minutes. With an electric fan forced oven, it should only take 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay, 2 or 3 minutes for fan electric, and 8 minutes, 5 to 8 minutes in the gas. Is that irrespective of oven size? That is just generally...
Generally, most ovens have a heat distribution system for the size that they have. So bigger gas ovens have got more gas jets, so they heat up a bit quicker.
Okay.
But the space, yeah.
Well, we will give that 5 minutes. If I hadn't taken my watch off, I could time it. You mentioned something about flouring the counter.
Yes, so we'll make sure the counter is dry first. 'cause
Which
I
it
can
is
see
not.
A little bit of...
I have. If you're on a boat, one of the single most useful things you can ever have is a lot of paper towels. They go for catering mucking the engine, everything. This is the most important boater accessory you can have, I would say.
I will second that.
Yep, paper towels are an absolute, and they just cheap ones, just the cheapest, nastiest ones you can find. You're just going to mop spills up with it. So there we go. Let's not look at how gross that is. Okay, right, flour. Just
so you probably only need like not a very big section of flour.
And how much flour am I tipping out here? What is the objective of the flour?
If you put your hand in and just get yourself a bit like
a pinch.
Yeah,
a pinch.
A big pinch.
A big. Is that a big pinch?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Okay.
And just
sprinkle it like stardust.
That's it.
Complete with all the lumps.
Yeah, well. Yeah.
There we go. Let's pretend we haven't got lumps.
Plenty of flour
there. Flour. Okay.
Now leave it open because you will.
Oh, okay.
You will
Want some
need
more?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you probably actually want your floured hands.
Oh, really?
So,
okay.
Yeah. So get a little bit of flour on your hands again. Just on your hands, yeah. And then you're going to get your dough.
Yes.
And scrape it onto your bench.
Okay.
Which is how the flour helps it to not stick to you.
Okay, there's a little bit sticking at the bottom of the actual...
Yeah. Pull that away then.
What am I doing? Rolling?
So again, get a little bit more flour and just sprinkle it on the top.
Oh, okay.
Just a little bit. And then you are sort of, push it down, fold it over.
Is this like a bread kneading type thing or not quite?
Similar, but you don't want to handle scone dough too much. So we're just trying to...
I again have to ask, how does it know? How does it, I've never understood this. How does it know it's been handled too much?
It's
Am I pushing?
The yeast and the flour and the rising agents. So if you handle them too much, the gluten in the flour makes it too...
And is the idea here to mop up all the flour I've put down on the bench, or is it just there for the sake of using it?
It's there so that you don't get it all stuck to the bench.
So just a little gentle squish, fold over, turn, squish again.
You see how it's becoming a lot softer and not as sticky now.
It's certainly not as sticky. It's sticky on the inside. Does that matter?
Yeah, that's fine. So that's probably about what you need it to be.
Not a lot of kneading at all. No. Not like bread.
No.
Where you go on for hours.
No. Now you kind of just want to sort of make it so that it's one fairly solid mass, I suppose. So.
Okay. Little roll of...
Yeah, press it down and...
Like a little bread roll.
Yeah.
I want to put a face on it. I just want to poke a face in it. But anyway.
So
moving on.
We don't have a rolling pin as we've...
No, I'm trying to think if I have anything that would work as a rolling pin. I mean, I've got jars. I've got jars for the tea and things. We could roll it with those.
We could, or we could just flatten it out.
Just do it as you...
Yeah.
Do as teacher says.
Just flatten it out. You don't want to make it too flat. You only want it to make it about 2.5, 3 centimetres. So that's probably more than enough.
Oh, quite thick then.
Yes.
It's quite a chunky.
Yes. Otherwise, it won't really rise very.
Okay. All right.
So you're probably looking fairly good there.
2.5 centimetres. Right.
Next is your pastry cutters.
Okay. I do not have pastry cutters, but Narrowboat Chef has brought pastry cutters.
Which we didn't have until 2 days ago. Normally I just cut mine up.
What? You just cut it with a knife?
Cut it with a knife.
Okay.
Just into basically squares, really.
Square scones?
Yeah.
Square scones?
That's why we bought the cutters.
God, I thought they were professionals. Right. Doesn't matter which size, does it? Whatever size scone you want. And literally just cut it out.
Yes. So these are reversible, so you can have
patterned one or not patterned.
Or not patterned. The trick with cutting scones, to make them really sort of rise and be really nice looking scones.
Who knew there'd be a trick?
There's a trick.
Yes.
So the more, how do I say this? I guess exposed edges. So whereas this is very sort of smooth, that doesn't allow the dough to rise very well.
Okay.
And your scones will kind of become like domed.
Okay.
Rather than coming straight up and being more flat scone type of shapes.
Yeah.
So it's easier to use the frilly side.
The serrated side gives more surface area.
Yeah, and with the straight side, you're more likely to push it down and twist it.
Yes.
and you don't want to twist it because twisting it seals the sides. So
but it's all pastry. See that?
Yes, but pastry is delicate.
Right, okay.
That's why I let Maggie do the pastry.
Right. So down and up then is the trick.
Push it down quite quickly and
Authority. Oh, it gave a fart. My pastry farted at me.
push it down. Don't wiggle
Don't twist
too
it.
much.
Don't wiggle it. It's got to have a little wiggle, otherwise it's
wiggle,
not going to come free. Right.
And then lift it out.
Is that supposed to come out with the?
May or may not.
Because it's not.
Yeah.
Do we now
so then
peel
you
off the?
Peel off the edges.
Okay. Scone number 1 with a big hole in the middle. I don't quite know where that came from.
That's from your folds when you've been.
Now,
weaving.
what do I do with that now?
So you can just set to the side, or we can flour our tray and get that ready and
Let's
pop them straight on.
flour the tray. So a pinch of flour.
Another pinch of flour.
Okay, but no oil or anything on the
No,
tray. Just flour.
Just a bit of flour.
Is that
Yeah, that's
sufficient?
good. Yep.
Okay. So now we can just pop that on
Pop
there
that straight on.
very gently. It's a thing of work of art, that is.
That looks very good for your first scone.
Scone. And then just the same again.
Yes, just
So-
continue.
I will try not to make it fart this time. Let's just do it like that. Little wiggle, just to loosen it up. And that one's coming out with the thing, so I can, I guess, push it out.
And you want to leave, you don't need to leave too much space between them.
Okay.
They don't really go too
Sideways,
far,
they just
so
go upwards.
Probably want to leave about a centimetre at least.
Okay. Now in a minute, of course, I'm going to run out of thing. Do we end up refolding
we
this
just reform
pastry?
it, yeah.
Okay, right. There's another one. You reckon this was going to be about 6, and I reckon you're about right. It's like you know what you're talking about.
It's funny that.
They do not want to come out of this cutter,
Yes.
though.
So another trick is if you put your cutter in a bit of flour, that will help stop it from sticking.
Flour is the answer to everything.
Flour is the answer to everything when you're making scones.
Okay, right. So do I just squish this back again?
Yep, so squish it back together.
Does it matter about the edges?
You'll probably have to just
Don't want to offend
reform
those
it,
edges.
roll it.
Oh,
A
okay.
little bit.
Roll it and squish it a bit.
Yeah, until you get a nice little.
How many holes in these songs? Is that more? Not in them, maybe.
Oh, they should perform themselves.
Okay. Should get 2 more over there. Oh yeah, that's come straight off because of that flour.
Makes a difference,
It
doesn't
does
it?
make a difference. There we go. There's that one. Number 6, little wiggle. Ah, of course the flour's now come off on that first one. Should you flour between each scone?
Between every one or two, yeah, it probably does help. Makes it a bit easier.
Right. It's green.
It is.
It's green.
What are they saying?
Right, we're going to end up with 1.5 here. Okay, come on, get off there. Space for one more. Try to push these away. I'm forcing the scone shape. I push it into the thing. I'm using the mocking laughter of Ryan in the distance. There we go. Right, that's my touch on these. Good.
Alright, so we're nearly ready to put them into the oven.
But not quite.
Not quite.
Okay.
What I like to do with my scones is just give them a little bit of a brush with, you can do like a kind of egg and milk mix, but if you just do a little bit of milk it works.
Is that using the
Just with a brush.
pastry brush?
So,
You don't need lots of this,
No,
do you?
just a really tiny
the
bit.
tiniest. How do these plastic things work as brushes? It seems a bit weird to me. They shouldn't, but oh, it does.
so you don't
Is that
want-
too much?
No, it looks good.
I'm running out now. Let's give that another dab. It's like we're on Kath and Anna's painting channel. This is how she does her watercolours, you know.
So just help give them a little bit of crusty colour on the.
Makes
on
them get the
top.
brown on top.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just helps.
Do we now put them in the oven?
Straight into the oven.
Alrighty. Does it matter which shelf these go in on?
They should go on a sort of a top shelf.
Oh, that's not on the top shelf. I'm going to let all the heat out if I rearrange that. Does it matter? It's a small oven. I don't think it's going to... Oh, that is warm. That is warm. 12 to 15 minutes. We'll do a little clock wipe. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. 15 minutes roughly has elapsed. Time to check on the scones. We just, look at them and see if they look right.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, all right, let's look at the scones. What are we looking for?
They need to have risen and it should be a goldeny
hello.
kind of colour.
They've risen.
They look perfect.
Are they right?
They look good,
Do we
yeah.
tap them or push them or?
Nope.
No, just take them out.
Just take them out.
All right. For this, I will need oven gloves, but I don't have oven gloves.
Now do we? Tea towel.
Ah, come here. There we go. They smell like scones as well.
They look really good.
The scones have had a little time to cool, so now we are going to cut them up and add jam and butter and clotted cream.
Proper
But which
English
way?
oven.
Jam then cream or cream then jam? That is the age-old debate, isn't it? Well, it cuts. I'm going to prod this one. I'll have this one. It's the burnt one. So, what sort of consistency should they be here anyway? Is that solid, or I suppose we won't know till we try them.
They look good. I mean, it looks cooked to me.
Okay. Yeah, it's not uncooked,
They should
is
be
it?
soft and sort of a little bit sort of springy, which they look like they.
So what was it like? Softer. Should still be soft, but firmer than sponge cake.
Soft but firmer than sponge cake. Right, let's get a couple of these cut up. Nutty. So I think people do. I'm going to say, oh, that one. That's lovely. You've got butter. Actually, that's all you use. I think it's butter. It's still warm enough to be but not so hot there. Let's try them then. You taught me how to do them. You dig in first and see whether they have.
Well, you made them.
Exactly. That's why I'm testing them on you first. Yes. Right. I think that's one of mine. I don't have clotted cream on mine, but.
That's
Very
some good scones, David.
All right, aren't they? They're all right. They've got the scony sort of texture
Yeah.
and the crusty sort of outer. A little bit warm still, and nice with the jam.
Yeah.
Good with that jam, yeah.
Well, if you have a go yourself, let us know in the comments how you get on. And if you want more excellent narrowboat chefery, don't look to me for it. Instead, go to the channel of Narrowboat Chef, a link for which is being left in the video description. And you sort of alternate, don't you, with cookery video, touring video, cookery video, touring video. So there's loads of good stuff over there. Go and check out their channel and enjoy some scones. Thanks for watching. Cheerio.
Cheers.
Bye.